Hello everyone, in this video I'm doing a solo Wylder run against Tricephalos, the first boss in Elden Ring, NightReign. This is not by any means a perfect run. It's full of mistakes, some questionable decisions, which is exactly what I wanted to share with you all in the first place. This video is more aimed towards newer players who just booted up the game for the first time and are trying to get an idea of what's going on. So I'm gonna be doing it in a live commentary format. I'm gonna be explaining all my choices, sharing some basic tips along the way. So hopefully you find it useful or at least entertaining. So let's get into it. As you can probably tell already, things are not going off to a great start here for me. I am getting hit by all these basic enemies, and I can tell right away it's because this is my first run on PC. I'm used to playing on PS5 where I have all the settings set up the way I want them to, but the game comes with auto target as an option, like on. So I will 100% recommend taking it off, because the moment you have 2 or 3 enemies on the screen, the game is gonna be alternating between them the entire time, and it's really annoying because you're not gonna be able to hit the enemy you wanna hit. So 100% take it off. You're gonna thank me in the long run, because you're gonna play so much better the moment you have full control of the camera of your character. But yeah, talking a little bit more about what happens at the beginning, the game is gonna drop you off nearby a camp with like low level enemies. You should kill every one of them, because that's gonna give you to level 2 like every single time guaranteed. There's gonna be crates around, some chests. I will recommend going through all of them, taking all the weapons that give you a nice passive for your character. In this case, anything for a Wylder that's gonna give you more power while guarding, more power while using 2 armaments, anything like that. After that, make sure you always hit the grace, level up to level 2, and then from then look at your map. There should be a church, a cathedral, a fort nearby. These are the places that you wanted to go at lower levels around the first day. Levels 2 to level 5, 6, because the enemies that are located at these places are still low level. You're gonna be able to kill them on your own, or when you're gonna be able to kill everything really fast with your friends. And the bosses here tend to be really easy as well. You should be able to get like a nice starting weapon or like a good passive to get you going. So I would recommend even killing like most of the enemies here, because by the time you do like a fort or something, you will be like level 3, level 4 here, and if you almost kill everybody, you should almost be at level 5, which is kind of where we're gonna be at this point in the gameplay. But make sure you explore everything. Went up here because I know there's an extra couple enemies. I know there's a chest here in the back. In terms of combat, when you're fighting with another like human enemies, if you're playing as Wylder, Raider, use your charge attacks, because you're gonna break their stance every single time with just one of them, and then you can do a crit hit, pretty much making it everything easier for yourself. So I'll open the chest right here. I grab a Stonesword key, which I already had one from the beginning camp. I highly recommend picking them up if you see them along your run, because it provides you with more flexibility in what you wanted to do, because these keys open the Evergels. Evergels are the dark circles in your map. There's like 6, 7 in every single run, and if you're passing by one nearby, you get the keys. You most likely get to do it really quick if you're playing with other people, but this can vary in difficulty by quite a lot. And what I mean by that is that sometimes you might have something simple like these crystallines right here, which even though there are 3 of them, they're gonna be attacking you one at a time, making it super easy for you to kill them. Or sometimes you might have a whole dragon that you have to kill at level 4, which is not ideal. You're not gonna be able to kill him under like 2 minutes. It's gonna take a long time. You're gonna die to one hit to it. So yeah, this is one of the things in the game. You're gonna learn what's worth fighting at the level that you're fighting, and what's worth it to run away. But for example, like I said before, these are really easy, and all you need is a blunt weapon like a great hammer, a great sword, a colossal weapon, because since they're crystals, they're weak to blunt damage. And if you're doing damage through your katana, through an arrow, through a dagger, you're not gonna be doing anything to them. You're gonna take so long to kill them that the reward is not even gonna be worth it. That goes especially for the average geo bosses that are simple. Same goes for the ruins, for the forts. You want to kill these bosses and then need a minute or two if possible. You see me take the passive right here instead of the runes, because when you're playing solo, you have enhanced runes acquisition. What that means that every single time you kill an enemy, you will get more runes that if you were playing online with other people, with friends, etc. But we're making our way to the church. If you have one nearby, you want to prioritize them, especially if you're playing solo. But yeah, here I'm using the grappling hook to move around the map a little bit faster. There's a little animation that you could do if you press the jump button at the end of the grappling hook. It's gonna make your character throw itself even farther away. I'll show you probably a little bit later on the gameplay, but here I see a field boss that I do wanna tackle. Even though that I know the circle is closing, I think I'm still capable of killing him. That's why I'm going for it, but I know it's a little risky, and especially I'm not playing gold right here. My passive even like activated right there. If you don't know Wylder's passive, it allows you to cheat death a single time, which pretty much means that the game knows you're about to get hit and the hit is about to kill you. So Wylder just does the automatic, dodge and sound animation, letting you know that the passive was activated, allowing you to get it together one more time. But as you can see, I didn't. I die, no big deal, we live and learn. But yeah, I think I still have time to kill the boss. That's why I'm like, okay, I have my ult, I'm gonna go for the crit. I check my map, I see that the fire is getting closer, so I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. I'm not playing at my best, I'm getting hit, my stance is getting broken by his big sword, so not the best. But I'm experienced to know that I think I still pull this through. Otherwise, I will have dip by now. But yeah, a couple more charge attacks, trying to break his stance as well. But yeah, like I said, I'm getting a little nervous because the fire was right here. You can see it right in the background. But we get the crit, which is huge for us right now because we're running out of time. But yeah, one more time, I'm looking at the options. I see that it's like for spells and stuff like that, so I go for the passive. Once again, I told you that's the best option when you play solo. So we're grabbing a flash, checking more crates, trying to get everything that we can on the way. Some basic stuff. I see that we got the gold pickle food, which is great when you're about to kill like a bunch of enemies at once, when you're about to kill a really tough boss, because they drop a lot of runes, so with that you just get enhanced runes. I actually did a grappling hook plus jump that I was talking to you earlier. It's great for covering bigger distances. And, wow, that's kind of rough to watch. Yeah, I didn't hear anybody there, but I'm just going straight forward to level up. I didn't get the chance to do it when I fought the other boss. Get him some low-level enemies right here. The fire already settled down for a while, so I know I have the time to, just get a couple extra runes. But always definitely come to the castle and check who are the enemies. In this case, it's the Crucible Knights, which if you're playing solo, they're extremely rough because you're playing at their terms. They attack, and you have the chance to do like a single or like a charge attack once in a while. So they're extremely time consuming. I mean, they drop a lot of runes, so if you can fight them like properly and don't waste a lot of time, go for it. But yeah, I went to the bottom of the castle because there's always a boss there, drop good stuff, but I saw that it was a Revenant. I mean, you don't really see it because she just comes out of the ground and you know that after you play for a while. But yeah, same thing, attacks, attack. You don't want that, you don't have a lot of space to like attack them, so I just decided to move on. I have for the merchant. All the merchants when you're playing solo, they sell a Wending Grace. But I mean, all the merchants are connected, so when you buy from one of them, the other one is not gonna have it available for you, unless there's the village in the map. There's a specific village shows up once in a while. You have the chance to buy another Wending Grace right there, and also the merchant before the final boss. It will also have a Wending Grace. So always make sure you have about 10k save when you're heading that way. But yeah, we're about to find right now what kind of enemies we're gonna fight. I think it's the Remnant Knights, if I'm not wrong. Let me see real quick. Yep. So, a big tip for this camp. You see the arrows that are coming through the sky? Well, they come from this knight on top of this tower right here. So the biggest thing is just climb up all the way up, you know. There's gonna be two enemies, one guy with a torch and the actual knight with the big bow. So ignore him if you can and go straight for the knight. You can throw him off the ledge and he will fall and take a bunch of fall damage, which is great. There's also always 3 chests up here. You definitely want to check this one out because they drop good rewards. As you can see, 3 shields, 1 purple. Definitely take the purple one. You know, you can replace it with the original one that Wylder comes in. You can see me. I just decided to go for all of them. I didn't check the passives too much, but something I will do later. I can see that the arrows is still going, so that means he didn't fully die. So I'll go look for him, kill him in a couple hits. See that there's a bunch of enemies around me. I don't want to fight all of them at once. Plus, I don't really have a lot of time anymore. You don't want to spend too much time after a while because you're gonna need to kill a bunch of them just to level up one more time. So just go to the bosses after you're like level 6 or so, and just kill the boss, get the passes, go to the next camp or whatever. I use my ult here. I get the crit. Don't hold on into your ult. Just use it almost the moment it comes out. It's just such a big help, and you don't get anything by just saving it for like the perfect moment, because there's not gonna be like a perfect moment. Here the most perfect thing to do is clear the camp faster. Just looking at taking damage negation, looking more passives. You know, I have enough to level up, level 7. We're not doing that bad for first night. I mark here a tower. Towers are great for heroes that use the FP, like Duchess, Revenant, Recluse, and stuff like that. Each one of them is different in the way that you open them, because there could be multiple locations. You're gonna see here that I already know, for example, one of these candles is not lit. And so I know that this sigil is up there, so you're gonna see in a second. There is. I open it up. Great, go the way up. You know, they could be in different locations, they could be outside. Sometimes they can even be like, it's like an illusion, you just literally walk through it. You just gotta take a look around. There's multiple videos online out there that tell you exactly which all the possibilities are. So yeah, just look that up, you'll be fine. Fire is closing, you know, once again. Not much I can really do at the moment. There's nothing nearby that I could kill, like another boss, so I'm just gonna farm as much as I can until the circle fully closes. This guy dropped boluses for madness, and not necessarily useful for this boss, but something I didn't talk about. If you see these boluses, just eat them. Like, for example, if you can grab them for the ground, you don't even have to put in your inventory. Just press a triangle and then like L1, I think it is, and you will automatically use it without having to put it in your inventory. But yeah, there's always a boss right here at the lake. I see there is a Scion. In other circumstances, I will probably go for it, but I know the circle is closing, so it's not a good idea for me right now. It's not a boss that I could kill in less than a minute, and so I'm just gonna farm as much as I can. Forgot to mention, there's a talisman I just grabbed. It will give me health back every time we kill an enemy, which is super useful for us right now. But you know, fire's coming. I don't want to waste too much time on this. You know, just getting a little more runes. You know, you always want to be doing something. You don't want to just be waiting around until the. I can't believe I missed every single shot in there. Wow. Yeah, and yeah, that is one of the bad decisions. I should have healed myself a little earlier because the fire was there. I was already dying. So one hit, that's all it took to bring me down. So yeah, not great. I lose a level. Level 6, still pretty doable, not too bad. So, but I definitely had to play more passively now. So I think it brings us to a really good time to talk about combat. In this case, more specifically with Wylder. Wylder is one of those characters that, thanks to his kit, he is really flexible. He can adapt to almost any situation. So, for example, I've been given not a great weapon, like it's still rare, I'm not doing a lot of damage, but what I do have is a pretty big shield that I can take like any hit without actually getting hit myself. So as you can see right there, the enemy hits me, I press R2 to do a counter attack, and then I break their stance. And since they are small enemies, it only takes one time to do that, and then I can do a crit right after. But yeah, I mean, just imagine for a moment that the opposite was true in this case, that we were given like an amazing weapon with even a greater skill. Well, then we can definitely play that way too. Wylder has enough FP to run a couple of skills. He has enough scaling in the damage department to make it viable. So yeah, I mean, it really depends up to you how you want to play it. But I mean, most of the time you're gonna play what's given to you. But as a Wylder, you're gonna be fine with almost anything. So yeah, keep that in mind next time you don't feel like the run is going too well. You just might have to adapt your playstyle just for that run. To go back a little bit into the combat, we have the Sword Master and the Human Queen. My tip for when you have two bosses, pretty obvious, go for the most annoying one. In this case was the Sword Master. He kept spamming attacks, and if you don't really pay attention, he could build a frost up like he did that time. You know, I took a big chunk of damage. He can even crit you if he goes behind you. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And that leaves us alone with the Human Queen. In my opinion, she's one of the easiest boss in the game. When you find her on the map, literally take like 2 minutes and kill her at almost any level. She's super weak. But when you find her as a boss and for one of the nights, she just spams these guys right here. But I mean, I think really, you know, for this playstyle that I'm doing right now, which is shield and attack whenever I have the chance, it works really well. Here I got grab, but I mean, I'm not even taking that much damage, and you know, so I just gotta back up a little bit. I only have one flash left though, so I gotta take a little bit more cautiously. But I'll be honest, I'm still not really that worried. I know I can pull this off. So yeah, I'm thinking here that the little enemies are actually being more annoying than I thought. So I might be able to get rid of one or two. But I switch my focus back to the queen. I'm like, okay, yeah, never mind. I rather just hit her enough times, you know. I think I'm about to get another crit right here. This will be my third or fourth heavy attack on her. Yep, there you go. So I break her stance, and that's really clutch. Like I'm legit about to die, and the run was gonna end right there. So actually, no. I mean, I had the grace, but I did not want to use one of my graces at the beginning of night one. And there was no really good option, so I went with another passive. But yeah, first thing I'm planning to do right here, go get the runes back. You know, I had a couple, but I'm already making a plan in my head. I'm thinking, okay, there's another jail next to the church. I think I have another key. We might go for that. You know, you always want to be a step ahead, because if you take too long and to one spot, you just, you know, you're wasting really precious time. This is one of those games that for 40 minutes you gotta be on top of everything, and I think that's why it's so addicting, because you don't really feel like the time passing by. But yeah, you know, just doing basic stuff, just checking this chest again, make sure there's no passives that could be really useful for us right now. Leveling up, since I have enough runes, and it looks like I'm making my way to the church. Not much to do right now, just moving on. And I'm looking right now, since I'm doing the voiceover, that I had a purple shield that I forgot I picked it up. That will happen like even better at the fight, but you know, no, not a big deal. I'll probably realize it at some point. But yeah, we keep moving around, making our way to the church. I think there's an I think I saw an Evergel right next to it. I didn't see if I have another key, but I think that will be my next step. Once again, the thing about boluses, you can just pick them up and take them without actually putting in inventory, which is really helpful. But yeah, I do have another key. I can see myself going there. And let's see what kind of enemy we have. I mean, it could be anything at this point, really. Oh, perfect. We have Bloodhound Knight, which, if we're doing the sword and shield kind of gameplay, is extremely easy for us, as you can see. Normally, if you don't have a shield, this guy's gonna give you a rough time, but I mean, not for us right now. Boom. We take the counter attack. Probably takes 2. There you go. I could have used my ult, making it a little bit faster, but he's really weak. I figured I could just do that right way. See? Didn't take long. Probably gonna get a good passive out of this. More likely to break enemy stances. 100% super worth it for us right now. And let's see where do I go. I'm going to the tree. So I haven't mentioned it yet, but you have this on the map as well. And it's pretty much the eagle that takes you into the when it drops you at the beginning of the game. But you can use them throughout the round to like move around faster, pretty much. As you can see, they have like predetermined paths. Is those white lines that you see across. This one is going north. And I marked the boss because I'm thinking about dropping in here. But it's a good chance to see the kind of like things that you... For example, here I'm going to see what kind of boss that will be without even dropping. And I can see is one of those trees, worms, and they're not necessarily difficult to kill. They just have a lot of health, so it will take me 5 minutes just to tackle that. So I decided to not do that, and I'm going straight for this camp, which is lining and not necessarily a bad option for my build either. But more than anything, these dudes drop a lot of rooms and they're super easy to kill. Like a couple hits, they break the stance, they go down. There you go. And this will have been a really good moment for me to use my Go Picklefull. But let's see what I have. I have a halberd with HP up on restoration, which works great. Like it has one of the best passives, but as you can see, it has the little hand symbol on the passive, which means that you have to equip it in some capacity for the passive to work. Right now it's my best weapon, so I just went for it, but you can just equip it on the offhand and you can dual wield the weapon that you actually want to fight with, and the passive will still apply. So yeah, great flexibility right there from the game. Yeah, once again, these guys drop a lot of runes. They could be a little difficult in groups, but overall individually they're not too bad. I'm still playing like with the sword and shield, well, halberd now, and it's such a good combo, especially for groups. So not really that difficult right now. Yeah, let's see. Get him right here. The nice type grows stronger, which means that the circle is about to start closing again. I'll probably check the map in a second. I gotta, just kill these guys first. That's a good charge attack. And I'm taking advantage to look at the map. I am inside the circle, which is great, so I don't have to be running around. What I usually keep in mind the moment the circle starts coming, of course, if I'm inside. If not, I'll try to look for things nearby, like the limit of it, just to take fully advantage of it, because once the circle closes, it's gone for good. It just makes everything so much more difficult. But no, I see that the church is the nearest thing to me, so I go for it. But I'm gonna stop here at the camp first, because this camp that has the carriages, one of them in the back always have a Stonesword ski. And once again, it gives you a lot of flexibility onto what you wanted to do. So right now I know I have the key, so I can just go back to another jail. And there's always one around. So, like I say, always a good idea to pick something up. I see the church, but I hear the talisman thingies. On a funny note, I have a friend who calls them meatballs. So I'm just going to call them meatballs too, because I already forgot what they call. Shout out Jose, you're my man. But yeah, we got the Dragon's Crest Shield, which it gives you more defense when we get hit with physical attacks, which is great for Bill. But yeah, we got the flask. We're going to the jail. Jump, keep an eye on the map as well. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what the jail is. Okay, similar to the dude, super easy to kill. Block the attack, counter attack, break their stance. I think I said that like a million times on this gameplay already, but that's kind of what we're going for, and it works really well. Use my ult, makes everything faster. Perfect. Let me see what we got. I'll take the runes right here. I know I say the passive is always the better option, but I'm not really using my skill, so I'm not using my FP at all. So I just take the runes in that case. Like, you know, most of the time, like I said, it's the passive, but there's an exception for everything. And there's only a time you really want to head into the cave is because you have a weapon that you want to upgrade. Because every single boss in these caves, they drop a level 2 smithing stone, which will take your weapon from blue to purple. In this case, we got the pumpkin head. He's not really that difficult. The attacks when he does like the hit to the ground, it could be a little annoying, but we're already level 10. It's not too hard, you know. Probably gonna kill him in the next 10 seconds or so. There you go. Got a good counter right there. Heavy attack. And he's almost out. Perfect. And grab the stone. And yeah, actually another good tip that I have is that the caves have 2 entrances. You can see them both in the map. They could be really useful when you want to travel from one location to another, or you want to like put together like a good run in the sense of like I'm going here, then I'm hitting this, then I'm hitting this. So I knew, for example, that there's always a boss here next to like the little waterfall, the 2 big jumps. So I'm going this way. Let's see what kind of boss we got. Kill this guy for a couple more runes, nothing crazy. And right from the get-go, I can already tell that it's not like a giant boss, like a dragon, like the deer or anything crazy. So it's gotta be kind of like human-like. And yeah, it is the assassin. Tips for this guy, let me see. For the way that we're playing with the Sora and like the halberd, not that difficult. Once again, you wait for him to attack and you counter attack. But if you don't have that and you're kind of playing just with the sword, he does everything in combos or 2 or 3. Just back out and just kind of wait for him to do all this combos first, then you get a hit or 2 in there. There you go. And he only has like 2 or 3 movements that you kind of want to watch out for. That being one of them. That's kind of the second one. And I'm gonna go over them. And that's the third one. So I'm gonna go over them. The first one, where he throws some kind of like red lightning at you, that gives you like a debuff. It will limit how much health you can have in total. So even if you heal with the potion, you won't have all the health back that you have. The grab is pretty self-explanatory. It will grab you. It will stab you with the dagger. It does quite a lot of damage. That's one of the things you want to avoid the most. And yeah, that's not too bad. Ooh, we got a spear that is actually holy, which I think is finally time we get into that too. Every boss in NightReign is gonna have an elemental weakness to it, which for the Gladius, which is Tricephalos, is holy, since it's kind of like some kind of like a demon dog. So now that I have the purple stone and I also have the spear with holy, that's gonna be really useful, and the weapon we're gonna use from now on. I came here to the jail thinking I got the key. I thought I had a key too. I guess I didn't. Weird. Anyway, I'm gonna go for my next field boss. I think I have enough time. I feel pretty confident right now. I have a good shield, a good weapon, and enough time, so I'm approaching it. And it's a tree sentinel. Should be pretty doable, I think, but they always give you issues. Let's see. Use my ult, break the stance. You cannot crit these guys. I mean, I don't think I ever did it. If you actually can crit them from an angle, let me know. That would be news to me. But yeah, now I'm actually a little more nervous because the circle is closing again. And while I'm doing damage, I don't think I'm doing quite enough yet. So, let's see. Not too bad. Almost halfway there. Yeah. And those big jump attacks will deplete your stamina. So, definitely keep an eye on that. I'm not playing that good anymore. My passive just went up, so no great. I think I'm a little panicking here right now. Yeah, not great. I'm making mistakes. Some tips, even though it doesn't look like it right now. You want to be close to the horse, like kind of like on the right back leg of the horse. That's kind of like the sweet spot to hit him, which probably gonna see me do it in a second. But once again, grab your runes first. Oh, the fire's right here. That's not that great. Yeah, I'm starting to think I'm not gonna have time to do this. But it's just, he moves a lot too. Like, it's not really helping that he jumps on those rocks. He jumps like that. We gotta hit him in the back. And okay, I got a good stance break right there. Damn, I'm not really doing that great. Right. I think I'm dead actually. Yep. No, great. I think I decided to dip right here because yep. The fire is already here. I'm not doing enough damage. Oops. Yep. Yep. And I died. Yep. No, not great. This is one of the moments when, like 5 seconds ago, I said I think I dip right here. That's what I see now. You know, like I should have dipped right there, but I didn't. So now I die. So now my runes are inside the fire, which I'm still kind of close, so I'm just gonna grab them real quick, but I wasted my entire time with the sentinel, and I didn't even kill him, so not great. Yeah, damn, that's really a shame. He's so close. But yeah, he almost killed me one more time, and yeah. Right, making our way up. Yeah, I should be fine. I have enough flask to make it to the inside the circle. Yeah, but what a shame. Like that 3 sentinel, he just needed like 4 or 5 more hits. Oh well, this is one of the times when I was like, I wish I could have made a better decision, so I'll play a little bit better. Would have made a huge difference. I probably get like maybe even a legendary weapon will help a lot right now. And I actually died right here. I didn't think I was gonna die again. Heal up before you are climbing up. Like, don't make the same mistake that I did right there. Because now I still have to go back and grab my runes. Do I even do that? They're a little... No, I'm actually gonna stay and fight Knight 2 at level 10 because they're a little far. My runes are not gonna move anywhere. They're still there. So yeah. So we got these enemies right here, which are not too difficult. I mean, there's 2 of them, but most of the time only one of them is gonna attack you. Yeah, just play close to them. They're especially weak to, you know, you can like go around them and crit them. That should be kind of what I'm trying to do right here, but he's defending himself pretty well. But yeah, still with the shield, everything should be pretty okay. And there you go, taking my opportunity, do the crit. Yeah, as you can see, the other one is still in the back, really just watching. So there you go. Perfect, another stance break. We can now focus on the second one. He does a grab, just run away from them. Perfect. Yeah, just do the same thing that we did for the first one. There you go. I am taking quite a little bit of time to kill these guys, which is not great because there you go. We got the actual boss coming out. And yeah, that happens when you just like take too long. And there's like a specific timer for the boss to show up. So I'm kind of forced to use my ult in there just to get a little break from both attacks. But once again, the other omen in the back just doesn't do anything. So at least that's great for us. Still kind of like a 1v1. But I still had to kill him afterwards, so... I don't know why the fellow man, like the main boss, is actually on second phase already. I only got him to like about a quarter of his health. Like I only took off a quarter of his health. So a little more difficult for us, but still doable. I think the whole shield halberd combo has really worked for us the entire run, because we're able to do massive stance breaking damage. Yeah, look at the arm in the back, he's just standing there. Yeah, no, a little tense right now. Yeah, I'm actually forced to use one of my revives right there, which is not great. I wanted to save it for the final boss, but it is what it is. The game, when you're playing solo, is gonna give you one of those like for free. So as you can see on my inventory, I still have the Winding Grace, but that's the only thing I have left. So I can only die one more time before like it's game over for me. But yeah, no, not too bad still. Still have the flask, counter attack, dodging. Perfect. Yeah, no, like this build right now is really working for us, especially against this type of bosses. If it was something that, like, for example, it moved like way too much, or it was like multiple enemies at once, it would be more difficult. But yeah. We're almost there. Just a couple hits more, a couple counter attacks more. Should be almost dead. Nice. I feel like I could have hit him right there, be done with it, but just better be safe. There we go. Nice. Okay, I don't know why I'm panicking right now. Like, that should be okay. There you go. Nice. But once again, like I said before, we still gotta kill this guy. So, go. Got some kind of Steam achievement you can hear in the back. Like I say, this is my first one on PC, so yeah. Almost done. Okay, great. That wasn't too bad. But we took the physical damage negation because the Tricephalos is a pretty physical boss. I mean, it only does like a little fire attack once in a while when the dogs are separated. So definitely take the physical one, and I'm on my way to get my runes back because that will probably put me into like level 14, I think. Yeah, just gotta be careful with this whole thing overall. Okay. Perfect. I think I passed my runs. Where are my runs right here? As you can see, like on the top, you can see where they're located. Oh yeah. Hopefully I don't die again, because then I will truly lose them. You can see they're so tricky. Like they really got it in the worst way possible. Okay. Perfect. So what are we gonna do now? Just go back into the circle and prepare ourselves for the final boss. Not too bad. Okay, we're almost there. We still have to flask. Yeah, we're safe. We're safe. Let's not get caught into that flower thing, and we're safe and sound. Nice. Okay. Just checking my inventory, checking my weapons. I can see that I still have the golden pick of food that I didn't use once, which could have been so useful, but you know, that's what I told you guys at the beginning. Like, this is not like the perfect run, but hopefully you guys learn from that. Going up. And this is one of the things that I told you guys earlier, that you have the merchant right here. And well, first of all, we're gonna level up our tree spear, which is holy, which is perfect against the dogs. And what I was saying, yeah, by the second Winding Grace that you can get, I'm getting a crystal tier, which is like pretty much like a second flask. I would always recommend getting it. And I just used like the little stone that I have for the another armament. I mean, I didn't really use it. It was not gonna make a huge difference for me. But I'm going with the turtleneck for more stamina and recovery. I'm going with the grace, and I'm going with the extra flask per se. So yeah, let's see how it goes. So Tricephalos, as we mentioned before, he's weak to Holy. It's because he's some kind of like, fire demon dog, But yeah, this fight can be really complicated for newer people, mostly because he does a lot of chain attacks. And every single one of the hits can count as like a one hit. So it can do a lot of damage if you're not expecting him. There you go, but we're playing with the shield, we're playing pretty safe. We're doing the same thing for every other boss, waiting for him to attack and do the counter attack if possible. I normally play, I usually play more without the shield, more into rolls and dodge and stuff like that, but this is what we're gonna work with, and yeah, just keep an eye on the grab attacks. He does, he makes that sound like 3 times for each one of the hits, so just wait until the third sound to roll around. And in this case, it's more specific if you're playing solo. All of them can hit you like at once and for like different angles, so you're not gonna be able to shoot properly. So what I recommend is just running away until you pull one of them out. That's kind of what I'm doing here. It's just more manageable, and yeah, otherwise you're gonna be running through flask. The other 2 are kind of in the back, but yeah, see, they come back, they hit me with the fire, they hit me with that too. I could be there already, so yeah. So just run away, heal up when you can, watch out for the fire. We got 2 graces now. We can still definitely do this, even though I only have 3 flasks now. But it's way more easy when it's, in a single body now. The chain, when it comes up from above there, try to dodge on the side. When he does the double attack, just roll and wait a second and then roll again. And as we can see right here, since we're hitting him with his elemental weakness, he has more like a debuff right now. It means that he's doing less damage and he has less defense, as you can see like the icons below his health. And yeah, you also have the little like kind of like yellow lines like aura around him, telling you that he's taking more damage right now. So really good. We gotta go crit, and we're already almost like below his health, so it's going well. He's gonna do the thing as well, and once again run away. Force them to like separate, because the game is gonna throw at least one of them at you. And yep, yeah, see, like the others kind of like hanging back. Watch out. Nice. We're doing quite a bit of damage just because it's, it's elemental weakness. But I don't like this angle right here. They can come from anywhere right now. Have the one on the right. Okay. Perfect. And I almost have my ult again, so I think a couple more hits, my ult, that should cover it. This is one of the main attacks that it has. It pulls his giant sword into the ground and throws like a giant like fireball to you. Kind of waste him out right here because the enemy was far away. Not great. But no biggie, we got this. I'm trying to heal up. Perfect. I would say the biggest thing is obviously easier said than done. Just be patient. Don't try to attack non-stop, because that's when you're gonna start running out of health like super fast, because you're leaving yourself open to any kind of attack. Like you're gonna do so much better if you attack once every like 10 seconds than if you attack twice every like 2 seconds. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're doing some charge heavy attacks to the heads. We're good. We're doing pretty good. Okay. Still running. Can see the other ones in the backs coming back now. Ooh. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That when they're in like different angles and different positions, they can attack you from the side, and there's nothing you can do. You're just gonna lose a lot of health. It's a great charge attack. They're gonna do the sword thing again. If you're close, go for it. Try to get behind them, because otherwise it's really like difficult to figure out when the move is gonna hit. Okay, no more heals. We're getting close. I mean, we still have the 2 revives, but oh, nice. There you go. Wait for the 3rd hit. Does the sound, and you can hit them. 1 more hit. Perfect. And that's it. I'm actually really happy how this run turned out. It shows you that even though like the run was not like particularly good, you know, the deaths, the time wasting, and like not playing really well sometimes, it can still shows you that you can pull through. Like, you know, if you keep it together, you build properly, you know, and those are the things that are just gonna come with more like runs. So there's like a lot that this game has to offer. I feel like there's a character for everybody, and this is just Wylder for me. Like his way of playing is like super fun to me. But hey, if you want to do magic, you can do magic. If you want to do bows, you can do bows. So there's a lot in this game. Enjoy it, discover it on your own, and yeah, for me, I'm gonna be uploading most likely challenges. You know, killing the bosses with only like pots, or or making a run like in melee Iron Knight. Like I really kind of been practicing. So yeah, I mean, if you want to see that type of content, please subscribe. And that will be everything for the video. So thank you guys for watching, for taking the time, and I hope I get to see you in the next one. Have a good one.